insurance companies track hacking groups' customer service? Yeah, you heard that right, and it's a very real thing. Last week I was at a conference taking a cyber liability course, and in cyber liability, as an insurance agent, one of the most common questions I get is, how does an insurance company decide what hackers to pay off and which ones do they not? Because if you're not familiar with it, there's this thing called ransomware, and it's gotten incredibly popular. As a matter of fact, hacking groups even sell tool sets to other criminals so that way they can use all these wonderful tools in order to ransomware someone. And what ransomware is this is when someone gets into your system, they hang out oftentimes for weeks to months until they can actually control the entire network, all of the computers in that network, and then they lock all of them down at the same time with a message on the front that says, you need to pay us this much in Bitcoin to this place by this time, otherwise we're either going to delete all your data, so your business is going to be dead in the water, or we're going to release all your data to the dark web, and then all of your customers, employees, vendors, there's going to be a big liability lawsuit against you. Which brings us back to the question, which hacking groups do insurance companies pay off and which ones don't they, and why? First, there are terrorist groups. Any terrorist hacking group, they're never getting paid by any insurance company because here in the US, well, we just don't negotiate with terrorists. There's actually some theories as that's the actual reason why hacking groups have started selling their hacking tools and ransomware tools to other criminals, is because, well, we can't get paid because we're labeled as a terrorist group, but you're just Joe Schmo. You could probably get paid. But if these smaller criminal groups don't do what they say, if someone pays them and then they don't get out of the system, they don't release the data, or they cause more damage on their way out, then they start getting a reputation, and insurance companies track that and they pay attention to it. And the criminals that actually do what they say, hey, we got this amount of Bitcoin, okay, we're exiting, we're not going to cause damage on our way out, we're actually going to do what we say, they more often get paid off by insurance companies. The underwriter did mention that there's a lot of other factors that go into it. Of course there are, but those are some big guiding principles, and I just found that wild and interesting.